A English tourist has been attacked near Dublin city centre's Temple Bar and has left fighting for his life. This is an updated news article from about 3 or 4 hours ago. And of course, we all know in 2025, this is how Dublin is. Very, very dangerous, very, very unsafe. There needs to be a complete overhaul of the criminal justice system in Ireland because things like this are going to keep happening. So it says here, the man aged in his 40s was assaulted close to Dublin Temple's Bar before rushed to Beaumont Hospital where he's in critical condition, with Gardaí urging witnesses to come forward. Now, of course, guys, this is reminiscent of the Canadian man who I believe died a few years ago after being assaulted by teenagers and, crackpots after, a night out on the town. And of course, there was an American as well who was assaulted. It feels like a lot of tourists are being assaulted and hit and injured in Temple Bar, which is the main thoroughfare in Dublin. For anyone that's been to Dublin, any sort of tourist activity, if you're from the US, if you're from the UK, Canada, whatever, Australia, when you come to Dublin, guys, the main thoroughfare of all the pubs and all the Irish bars, all the Irish pubs are in Temple Bar. This should be the safest area for any sort of tourists. There should be a Gardaí on every corner watching for any crackpots or any sort of illegals or anything like that, guys. It says the man aged in his 40s was assaulted at 12:30 a.m. today in Dublin's Temple Bar, and he remains in critical condition. So he is understood to have been visiting Ireland on holiday and was allegedly kicked in the head after getting into an altercation with another man near Centra in Temple Bar Square. So everybody knows that Centra. It's just right around the corner from Temple Bar. Like if you're from Ireland, lads, this area. Like Temple Bar should be the safest place in the whole country. There should be guards there that are patrolling, watching for crackpots like this. Now, of course, we don't know the backstory to this. Okay, there could have been an altercation with God knows who, but they haven't released the details of the man. So it says Gardaí are understood to have gathered strong CCTV evidence of the incident. The force is now urging witnesses or anyone to have come forward about this. A spokesperson said that the early hours this morning, Thursday, 21st of August, and I'm reporting this on Thursday, 21st of August, Gardaí and emergency services responded to the incident at approximately 12:30. Okay, Gardaí are appealing for witnesses to this incident. Now, here's the thing, guys. I don't jump to conclusions on this channel, but they also haven't given any sort of description of the guy who assaulted him. And normally when they don't give a description of who assaulted him or anything like that, normally it's a migrant, okay? But we don't know who this is. There's no description. Can we get a description? I always say this. Is he a white guy? Is he a brown guy? Where is this guy from? We don't have any description of anybody, okay? It's just a completely vague story. And it only happened a few hours ago, literally 12 hours ago, guys. It seems like we need some more evidence of this, and it's being reported everywhere. This has been reported in England. And, it's crazy that people are getting kicked in the head. That's obviously not good. If you're punching someone, as soon as they go to the floor, that's it, guys. The fight is over. If you're beating somebody up on the floor, that's a coward's way of fighting. And not to mention the image this gives to Dublin. I believe that the tourism is down 25-30% this year overall. And now it seems like all these tourists that are coming here are warned before coming to Dublin. Like Dublin used to be one of the safest places in the world, and now you have people getting assaulted, having head injuries. This is crazy, guys. And English tourists are very, very frequently coming over here. Dublin is one of the best tourist destinations for people from England, from Britain. And I know a lot of tourists that go there, but, now it's gotten the reputation of every single time you hear about tourists being injured, it's either local from the area or a migrant. So, who knows who it is, guys? It's absolutely crazy. So, Gardaí believe an altercation with another male who was not known to the man escalated into a physical assault. So, here's another thing. You would think that two guys fighting, maybe he knew of the guy, maybe there was some sort of mutual combat. No, this guy was not known to the man. So a random guy from God knows where, they're not giving a description of him, which means he's a foreign guy. Because if he was a white guy, within 30 minutes, they'd have the whole history of the white guy, white Irish man. They would say where he was from, what he had for breakfast, his dog's name, his mother's, cat's dog's name. And it's like, they know everything about the white people. But when it comes to a situation like this now, what's happening? The guy's a foreign guy. Nobody knows anything. There's a big, massive college football game on Saturday. The American football college teams are coming over. And Lord knows that the streets will be completely packed with Gardaí to represent the image that Dublin's a safe city and nothing will ever happen. Well, not incidentally on a Wednesday evening, guys. Not on a Wednesday night in Dublin. On a random Wednesday night in Dublin, the streets of Dublin are extremely dangerous. Even in the main city thoroughfare. You'd think if you were in some sort of rough north side area, crazy crackpot area with drug addicts and heroin addicts, that it would be dangerous. No. Even in the main area now, you can't get away from violent crime. The man had been socializing in the area prior to the attack. So nothing has known about this guy. All we know is that he'd been visiting a family member. Now he's in critical condition. I mean, that's horrendous, guys. The image of Dublin and Ireland is getting worse by the day. I think in Dublin and in Ireland in general, we have a national security threat, a national security emergency. I've said this for years, guys. After the lockdowns, they've just poured in people from God knows where. Again, like I said, it's threefold. It's not just the people that are just being poured in from, Roman gypsies and all these crazy crackpots from war-torn countries, ISIS and all this stuff, potential ISIS members. We also have this divide between the north and the south, the real aristocrats and the flipping bourgeoisie that hate the people from the south, that hate the people from the north, okay, the people from the south, the rich people, and then hate the people from the north. Then on top of that, you have those like Irish, little teenagers running around the place. And who knows, they're not all Irish guys, they're from Eastern Europe as well. These little kids that are running around beating up people and, hurting people. But now you also have the threefold. So the rich hate the poor. You have the flipping bourgeoisie hating the poor people. Then you have the flipping crackpot kids running around the place. And then also you have the flipping foreigners attacking people. It's crazy, guys. It's like a flipping war zone. Like Dublin and the rest of Ireland is turning into a war zone. There's nobody protecting anybody. The Gardaí can't protect anyone. They're not there to protect you. They're there to enforce the laws. And it's just a disaster, guys. There's no witnesses now appealing to anyone. Let's see what Jim O'Callaghan said. So Justice Minister Jim O'Callaghan appealed for members of the public to assist the Gardaí. I mean, again, guys, the Gardaí should be helping themselves, should be pushing and trying to arrest different people. He said, I've been briefed with a serious incident that occurred overnight in Dublin. While Gardaí investigation is underway, I will not comment further, but want to wish the injured man a full recovery and appeal for witnesses to come forward. I mean, the guy could pass away, guys. If someone has a serious head injury after falling to the ground, that means that they can die, or at least they're in serious condition where they'll never be right ever again. A head injury is not like a broken arm or a broken leg. Head injury is serious, guys. That means your brain has a bruise in it or a swelling, and you could be finished. So good job to all the modern Irish government. I think the modern Irish government, all these justice ministers and all these people for security council, I think they have a lot of blood on their hands and a lot to answer to, guys. A lot to answer to. I love you all. If you want to support me, hit the join link underneath the video to become a member today. For just €3 per month, you can hear news stories that you will never hear on the mainstream media. I love you guys, and I will see you all in the next one, man. Peace.